Hey, everybody. Doug Passon coming to you actually live. I think that's the first time I've been live from Studio 3553 in Scottsdale, Arizona. I am going to be doing a little special edition for you, which is, I've been on a little hiatus set for sentencing. I took some time off after Thanksgiving, and I was going to take this time between Thanksgiving and the new year to take a breath, uh, you know, coast on some good work. Been getting a lot of great feedback from the podcast, but sometimes special circumstances require special action. And today is exactly that day. As listen, there has been a lot going on in the sentencing community. There's been some new amendments proposed by the commission. We're going to talk about all that next year. Right now, I'm really just here to talk to you about this beautiful, amazing package that I received in the mail today. So here's the backstory. I love tequila, so that's what we're here to do. We're doing tequila talk. So if you were expecting something more substantive, law type stuff, this live podcast from Set for Sentencing is not for you. But I just thought it would be fun because, well, here's a backstory. 2 weeks ago, I was in New Mexico in Albuquerque presenting about sentencing advocacy, sentencing narrative to a wonderful group of lawyers called the New Mexico Criminal Defense Lawyers Association. And one of the organizers of the event, a gentleman and a scholar, attorney Brock Benjamin, was charged with the task of introducing me to the crowd. And man, it was like the first live talk I've given in a long time. Since COVID, it's all been Zoom. So it's really cool to be in front of a live audience and you get someone introducing you. And Brock has been listening to the podcast. Thank you, Brock. And so he knows from a lot of episodes that I'm a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs about tequila. And so in his introduction, he gifted me this amazing bottle of tequila. Well, I didn't know it was amazing at the time. I still don't. We're going to taste it. So let's stay tuned for that. But the long story short, I couldn't take it home with me on the plane because I didn't check a bag. And Brock was kind enough to get this to me later. But here's the other cool story about Don Rico. I've never heard of Don Rico before I got the bottle and didn't know anything about it. But there's a gentleman by the name of Rick, aka Rico Olivo, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. But Rick is maybe a reformed lawyer. He was an attorney from El Paso and did a lot of work with some tequila brands, and he just loves tequila so much that he started his own brand, Don Rico. So I think it's really, really super cool that a lawyer is making tequila. And I looked up this brand on Tequila Matchmaker, which is my go-to app. It's free if you ever want to know what the skinny is on a tequila, whether it's good, bad, or otherwise. Tequila Matchmaker is the place to look. And so what I found out immediately is this has got to be good because a couple of things. One, it's very well rated. It's got an 85 rating from the panel and an 89 rating, community rating on Tequila Matchmaker. Two, it is confirmed additive free, which only Tequila Matchmaker does that confirmation. So that they're the authority. And what does that mean? That means this tequila is made the right way. Because when it's made the wrong way, you have to put junk in it. You have to put chemicals in it to make it either sweeter or to change the color to make it look like it's been aged more when it hasn't, or to add some oak flavoring to make it seem like it's been in a barrel when it hasn't. Add glycerin to make it thicker, to mouthfeel, to make it seem like it was a more authentic artisanal process, all that. And you can put up to 1% of additives in a bottle of tequila, and they don't have to tell you. So if you look at your Don Julio's or your Clase Azul or your 818s or your Casamigos or all those, they're not going to tell you on the label that they have additives, but they do. And FYI, that's why it's so sweet and delicious and vanilla and sugary, some of those tequilas, and you think, wow, it's so delicious. I didn't know tequila could be this sweet. Well, it can't. The reason it tastes like that is because they I hate to say it, but they cheat. Some of the influencers out there call it tequila because it's not true. My term is fuckila, which is fucking fake tequila. And I love to just drink real tequila. Now, I'm not faulting you. You love what you love. I'm not here to shame you for your choices, but I will say this. Once you start looking for and drinking additive free tequilas, you will, once you go back to the ones, you'll start to taste really pungent uh, uh, additive flavors, and you might actually never go back to tequilas with additive. You know, the last thing I can say about this bottle before I open it, I've always said lawyers are like tequila, that the best lawyers do not come in the fanciest bottles, in the prettiest offices, with the fanciest toilets and whatnot. So I feel like sometimes, you know, we think we have to get the lawyers that have the nicest offices, or that actually cost the most, because those big fancy bottles with additives like Clase Azul, they cost the most, but they're not the best. So anyway, lawyers are like tequila, and I just noticed what a simple, beautiful, elegant bottle that is, Don Rico, and I really love that. That is an agave plant, maybe like a top view of the agave plant. And I just love this bottle. It's simple, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And I cannot wait to try it. And I've been basically talking till I can get across the 5 o'clock line, because everybody knows you don't have a drinking problem if you don't drink before 5 p.m. So, anyway, who wants to taste this tequila with me? Isn't it great we're not talking law today? I mean, gosh, sometimes you just got to kick back and have a little fun, right? Um, these are some of the things that make life beautiful. So, okay. So, we're going to paste that. All right. Okay. Okay. Not getting a ton of smells here. I read somewhere you have to use both nostrils to smell. So, hold on. Okay. Boy, okay. So I was looking up on Tequila Matchmaker. One thing I think is interesting, and someday I gotta call the owner and Rick and talk to him about this, but I have not seen this before. But on Tequila Matchmaker, they tell you the region where the agave was actually grown, where the plant was grown, and that makes a difference. There's highlands, Los Altos, and there's lowlands, the Valle, the valley, and there's a different flavor profile based on the terroir of the soil or whatever, that these agaves, who would take like 8 years to grow, absorb the flavors of the land. And there's different flavor in the valley. It's like a volcanic, and so it's more earthy and peppery, and uh, they call them kind of more masculine flavors. And then the highlands are more floral, sometimes more citrusy, things like that. So some people who are really really good at tequila, they can tell by drinking like where the agave was grown. I'm not quite that sophisticated yet, but here's what's wild about this. On Tequila Matchmaker, it says agave region, Los Altos and Tequila Valley. It both says Jalisco. So does that mean they took agaves from up high and down low? And is that going to be an interesting kind of mix? I don't recall another tequila that says both Valley and Highland. So I'm interested now. I'm going to shut up and try this. Smells delicious, by the way. Sometimes I like smelling tequila as much as drinking it. Hmm. Okay, this is very good. This is very good. I'd love to be up my own ass and talk about all the different flavors I'm tasting, but I don't know. I don't know if I have that much of a sophisticated palate. I just know what I like. It's like Mr. Burns says on The Simpsons. I know what I hate, and I don't hate this. No, I really, really like this. You do, you get a agave forward, so that sweetness, but it's a natural sweetness because it's coming straight from the agave, not from any bullshit that they put in it. And then the it's not too hot. The follow-up flavors are I taste some pepper. I would taste maybe a little citrus and black pepper, I think. And I feel like cinnamon. I taste the cinnamon, like a little cinnamon rush bomb on the front end. So it's like sweet cinnamon. Maybe this is a good holiday, like a sweet cinnamon, like a nice glass of hot cocoa with a little cinnamon sticking in or something. Anyway, that's all I got to say. I just wanted to do this because a lawyer gifted me this. B, a lawyer created this, Rick Olivo. And so I was just so excited to try it. And because I haven't been with you guys for so long, I thought, what the hell? Let's just do this. So I'm gonna wrap it up and I'm gonna sign off now, but I will tell you this. I'll be back. I'll be back in the first of the year. I've already got episodes in the can. We're gonna talk about such fun and uplifting topics such as lead poisoning. And we're gonna talk about some Indian law issues, really cool, with an amazing attorney, Melanie Yaza. Of course, guidelines, and more guidelines. And just you wait. But I wanted to say Happy New Year. Thank you to everybody who has been following this journey. I'm really, really grateful for it. And, another story, I just got a bottle. My wife texted me, another lawyer just sent a bottle to my house. Boy, you guys are really going to put me in the Betty Ford clinic. But it was a lawyer who was on the podcast, John May. And we had an amazing discussion several months back now. And he's going to be back on the podcast. We're going to be recording an episode about pretrial diversion, federal diversion, was so important. But he sent me and bought a beautiful bottle of Altasor Extra Añejo as a thank you for the podcast. So thank you, John May. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Brock Benjamin. Thank you to everybody who's joined this community. I would love to see you back here next year. I'd love to have you spread the word. We need to build more awareness, more fairness, and add more humanity to this process. So we're going to do that together, and I can't wait to see what happens next.